your boy Carto WK, and today we're doing What If Naruto was the Ice Dragon Sage. Sorry for the delay on this video, and sorry for that big blotchy spot at the bottom of the screen. My editor actually messed up and processed and forgot to delete it. So yeah, let's just get into it. So a little background info: Minato was the Water Dragon Sage. So, and whoever he married would get a weaker version. The Wind Dragon Sage. Because their son, or whoever they had, would get a combination between both. So if he got water and she got wind, ice. Because that's how it works in Naruto. So, wind is probably one of the weakest, since it's one of the sub-elements are stronger than main elements. Water and wind are weaker than ice because it's a combination between both. It's just like lava, that's fire and earth, and that was Hashirama because his mom was fire and his dad was earth. So he got lava. So yeah. Now that we got the background info, let's hop into it. So then, Naruto got born, and in this one, they won't die. You'll see why. So let's get into it. So when Naruto's first born, a dragon comes out of his stomach, where then a dragon flop and then rush back down into him. But then a beam of ice would go on its paws, Kurama's paws, freezing it there. So Minato could successfully seal it in Naruto and Kushina, who got half. So Naruto will live a happier life, but not to what you guys would think. So when Naruto's growing up, he would always have this cool aura coming out of him. And this is only because the Namakazes and not everybody has one. Only very special people. And you have to be pure of heart. But if you marry somebody who's not pure of heart, they'll get a weak sage. So your child, if they're pure of heart, they can get a stronger one. So Naruto's pure of heart, so he gets the stronger one than Kushina. So yeah. So Naruto is 5, and everybody, when he's not with Kushina or Minato, calling him Dino. So when Naruto goes home, he says, "Hey mom, where's dad?" Kushina says, "Oh, well, he should be coming home in a few minutes." And he says, "Hey dad, look what I can do." And he does some hand signs. Snowball jutsu. And he spits out a ball of snow. He says, "Huh." And then he just melts it with his water. Too weak. Are you sure he's mine, Kushina? Naruto just doesn't say anything and just walks upstairs. And Kushina runs up and punches him. "Get out my house." But why? "'Cause you just said that to your son." "Oh, you sure he's mine?" "Of course he is yours." "What do you mean?" "Well, I was just asking. 'Cause that was a week. He's only 5, she says, and punches him again. He's only 5, and you're putting him up to a too high expectation. What do you mean? If my father was the Hokage, he would probably do the same." And she screams, "You don't even know your father." And then he says, "You're right. But he does." And walks out. And Naruto, after this, isn't so happy anymore. Naruto just stays in bed most of the day, or he'll go to a lake and train there. So when he's sleeping, he's training with the Dragon Sage, and this is his element, ice. So Naruto is training with his dragon inside, and the dragon says, "You need more power." Snow isn't as strong as ice. You can use snow, ice, and maybe sometimes a little water. And Naruto says, what do you mean, water? That's not the element I was given. But ice and snow are made out of water. So you can also use water. That's why I'm stronger than the water sage. He says, okay. Okay then, let's begin. And Naruto says, okay. And the dragon turns into its human form. He has frost all over his body. You're gonna need to exploit your powers, he says. Now, try to push out as much as you can without doing any jutsus. Naruto tries to push out aura without actually doing anything. And after a few minutes of trying, he just stands still and a cool breeze comes out of him. And it turns into such cold pressure. So, he says, you mastered that very quickly, he says. Now, you don't even need hand signs, you just have ice manipulation. So you can actually do anything. And he says, wow. And then Naruto says, then he says, but you are gonna need sometimes from some jutsus. And the delay for this, the backdraw of having a dragon sage is you don't get any other chakra nature. But you still have chakra. So you can do simple jutsus. Like, if it doesn't take a chakra nature, you can do it. A certain chakra nature. He says, okay. And Naruto says, and then he says, so, can I do regular jutsus but in the form of ice? Yeah, I guess. And then he says, cool. And then he, giant ice needles. And he starts spitting out ice. And they're big. Not big, but like super long, sharp needles. And they pierce into a tree. So, that's one, huh? And he ice ball jutsu. And he says, wait for it. And when it hits the tree, it doesn't explode, but it expands into a 2-meter radius, which is pretty good. So even if you dodge it, if he expands it, you're gonna get hit by it if you're in a 2-meter radius. So then he says, wow, a dragon sage. Now try to use it for defense. And he says, And then he says, oh, like the Kazekage. Raza, I think, where he uses gold dust or gold sand or something. Yes, try to like that. But you're gonna actually have to control it. Naruto says, okay. Ice Dome. And then he says, Snowfall. And this is a powerful jutsu or skill that the Ice Sage grants. And it actually slows down movements, speed, and reaction speed. It's like it's delayed. So if you try to dodge something, he'll know what to do, and then he can hit you back. But it does affect him, so he has to be in ice dome to do it. And then he says, Snow Dragon Black Blizzard. And a big black snow dragon comes out. And then it hits the tree and disperses into a whole bunch of black snow. And it actually gives you frostbite. So you're out of luck if it touches your skin. And Naruto says, no. And then he walks away. I know what he's doing. And Naruto walks up to the cage. He makes a staircase of ice, walks up it, rips off the seal. So you need a key, huh? And it's a circle. A tiny circle that the seal would be the key. But Naruto says, no, I think this is. Kurama says, no, you need the seal for the key. And Naruto says, no, I don't. And Naruto shoves a piece of ice in there, shoving it all the way through, and he says, can you hand me that? And he says, sure, brat. He hands it to him, and he unlocks the cage. It starts, and he rips the cage open. Now, you're gonna train me, right? No. And then he says, fine. Ice chains. And then he gets chained down. This is only good for him because he's so big. So it's only good for like Biju. And Naruto actually has the good side. So yeah. Fine, brat. And he turns into his human form. Okay, now we're gonna work on your taijutsu. I saw that you were working on a technique with your ice sage, which I don't really like because you have me. Don't worry, he only taught me jutsu since I don't have any chakra natures. Oh yeah, I forgot. Same with your mother, which is a pretty big drawback. And he says no, because she doesn't have the sub-element, which is stronger. He says, what do you mean, sub-element? I have the sub-element, ice. She has the element wind, which the wind dragon isn't as strong as the ice. But it still can do almost everything this ice can, like ice, wind barrier, stuff like that, but not ice. Oh, okay then. And he says, fine, let's work on your taijutsu. Once you lay a hit on me, we can stop. Naruto says, easy. He drops his ankle weights, dashes at Kurama. Kurama says, won't work. Kicks Naruto in the stomach, and he says, gotcha. Ice chains. Ice chains. Kurama gets chained to the floor. And Naruto kicks him in the stomach, punching him into the wall. And then he says, ice blizzard. Freezing him to the wall. Ice needles. Stabbing into his fur, but not him actually, his skin or anything. And then he says, let's try this. Ice ball. And then he doesn't want to hurt Kurama, so he just makes it explode. Not explode, but expand right next to him. And then he gets frozen in place. Naruto says, no. And then he says, he just makes an ice hammer and breaks everything. So now what? We're gonna have to work on your chakra control. You have too much chakra for tree walking already, so as long as you learn water walking, you should be fine. And he says, okay. And Naruto says, Kurama says, we'll do this when you're in the academy. Fine. And then Naruto disappears in the cool breeze, and then a freaking gust of wind. Naruto comes back home from his training and it's dark. And Naruto makes a clone go in, and then he sneaks in under the bed. Naruto sees somebody else's foot and said, where's the brat? We need the tailed beast. I don't know. Naruto says, ice chains. And he doesn't feel it, but his legs are chained down. Naruto says, okay. He says, a snow dragon, black blizzard, but it's a super small dragon. So it goes up into his shirt, exploding, giving him immediate frostbite. Naruto comes out with the ice sword and then slashing down. But he has a kunai ready and he says, brat. And then Minato comes in. What are you doing to my wife? And then Kushina, Naruto doesn't say anything, but he's just so mad. How does his dad get praised for being the fourth Hokage, but he doesn't even worry about his kid? But Naruto kicks Minato out of the room, shutting the door. Naruto kills the ninja, throwing him outside. and Naruto leaves. When she gets up, she punches Minato. What was that for? Cuz you said, what are you doing to my wife? And what about your son? Well, he can handle himself. So can I. Don't forget, I'm the one with the QB. Same with that demon. Oh, so you think I'm a demon too? No. Well, I had it longer than him, so you also think I'm a demon too. And he says, no, I don't. No, you can get out of my house. I don't want to see you for a while. And he says, fine. I'll just go live in the Hokage mansion for a little while. And then he teleports away. Naruto doesn't talk to anybody from this point on. Not even Kushina. Naruto gets time skip 3 years. Naruto's in the academy. He learns tree walking from water walking from Kurama. So he already knows that. And Naruto's in class just sitting there. Nobody says anything because the fourth Hokage. And actually nobody really cares anymore because they know what the fourth Hokage is going to do now if they say anything about him. Because Minato said changed, but Naruto just doesn't listen to him. Naruto in class, he's just looking out the window. A girl walks out to him. Hey, can I stay here? Naruto doesn't reply. Hey, can I stay here? Naruto doesn't reply again. Hey, she grabs him. Can I sit here? And Naruto turns around. I don't care. Dang, let me go. He pushes her away. Now, sit down, you nuisance. And Naruto sits back down. And when he's sitting there, everybody feels a cold breeze. Everybody knows who it's coming from. It's coming from the window. And he says, can you shut the window? So Kiba says, shut the window. And the teacher shuts the window, but it's still coming out of Naruto, nowhere else. He says, and then it gets intense. And then Mizuki drops to the floor. What is this pressure? Iruka says, what is this? And Naruto just pulls back and everything. He's just wasting energy doing this. But it will also make him stronger just by having coldness around him to enhance his ice and snow. And then he says, okay then, it's gone. So, Iruka gets up. So, tomorrow we be spars. Pick your sparring partner. Naruto doesn't even get up. And the last person was the girl who said his name. So I guess we're sparring partners, right? He doesn't say anything. She says, so are we sparring partners? Naruto sighs. Are you the last person? Yes, she says. Then there's your answer. And she goes to touch him. And he slaps away her hand. Don't touch me. Naruto looks back at the window. What's your problem? And Naruto stands up. Problem? My problem is you. You're annoying. Just like that soccer girl. And she just sits back down. And this girl's name is Himuna. And Naruto just is sitting there. And Himuna sits down, and when the school leaves, before anybody could even leave, Naruto disappears in a cool gust of cool air. and then intense slashes of wind. This makes everybody fall to the floor. He says, ugh. So Naruto, and then the next day comes. So class, these are the rules. No lethal jutsu. And Naruto says, it's gonna do it over with. And Naruto says, fine. And everybody says, okay. They all go outside. First match, Shikamaru Naruto, Choji Akamichi. When the match starts, Shikamaru just jumps out. I guess he wins. He goes to lay under the tree. And then Iruka comes up, but he gets surrounded by ice. Shikamaru. And he doesn't know who did this, but he's glad. Because it was a hot day, and he was cool in there. So, he just left him alone. Iruka says, next match, Shino Aburame versus Hinata Hyuga. Shino absolutely bodies Hinata. Like, Videl versus I don't know how to say that dude's name, but Spopovich? Yes, Spopovich. Yeah, she got bought. And he says, next match, Sasuke Uchiha versus Sakura Haruno. Sasuke does body Sakura. Next match, Hinami versus Naruto. The winner will face Hinata. No, Ino Yamanaka. Naruto says, fine. No lethal jutsus, right? Yes, and I doubt you have any. Naruto says, fine. He says, snowball jutsu. Shoots it up in the air and says, ice dome. And then it hits his ice dome, imploding. Just barely touching Hinami, knocking her out of the ring. If that was a direct hit, it probably would have killed her. I said no lethal. You said no lethal jutsu. Was it in a lethal way? I guess not. Naruto Uzumaki wins. And Naruto versus Ino Yamanaka. Naruto says ice chains. And then Naruto picks her up and places her right outside the ring. Naruto says, there, Choji Akamichi versus Shino Aburame. I would have to give this to Shino again, just because he already has his Kekkei Genkai or whatever, his bugs, and Choji doesn't have any jutsu. So, I'm gonna give this one to Shino. Okay, Shino's the winner. Shino Aburame versus Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke wins. Sasuke Uchiha versus Naruto Uzumaki as the last match. Naruto says, what a drag. Naruto says, okay, let's get this over with. Can we have the Jonin arena? Because I'm pretty sure he knows some jutsus. Okay, they all move to the Jonin arena, which isn't too far away from the academy. Naruto says, good. And he says, begin. Sasuke runs up, throwing a punch, then a sweep kick. Naruto catches his fist, stomping on his leg, almost shattering it. And Naruto says, are you done? And he says, no. He gets up. I know you use ice, so I'll use fire. Fireball jutsu. Naruto says, Naruto makes a bolt of ice come out of his hand, cupping the fireball. He spins around, giving it velocity, throwing it back at Sasuke. 2 times the speed, 2 times the power, since he pushed some chakra in there. And he dodges it. And he says, Fireball Jutsu. Naruto just takes the hit. And then everybody's like, yay, Sasuke. Sasuke beat Naruto. And Iruka says, "You're disqualified. No lethal." "Shut up," Naruto says, coming out the smoke unscathed, but a little sweaty, they think. "What?" Iruka says, "You don't talk to me. You don't talk to me. You're only supposed to teach us what we need to know. All your lessons or whatever were useless." Just like her, pointing at Sakura. And Naruto says, "So, you think your stupid fireball can do something?" "Yes." And he says, "We'll do it again, but this time I'll use a lot of chakra." Naruto says, "Fine." Ice ball jutsu. Sasuke has to run through hand signs. Fireball jutsu. And then it touches it, just engulfing this ice, which doesn't do anything. It's just helping Naruto's ice get stronger and more durable to fire. And he says, "What? He didn't even use fire style." And then Naruto lets some water out of the ice, burning off the water, putting out the fire on it, and he said, "Expand." And he clenches his hand at the right moment, making a cool scene, and it explodes right in Sasuke's face, knocking him into a tree, knocking him out. And Naruto says, "Okay, I win. Can we go back now?" "Yes." Time skip to the end of the year. "This is our last test. You pass, you'll get to take the ninja test. Everybody passes in the ninja test." He says, "Okay, time for the ninja test." And Naruto says, Naruto's hoping just to get off the stupid classroom. And he says, "First off, kunai and shuriken throwing." Naruto says nothing, because he's not going to use the stupid kunai. Sasuke gets 10 out of 10. Hinata gets 2 out of 10. Ino, 7 out of 10. Sakura, 0 out of 10. Choji, 6 out of 10. Shikamaru, 9 out of 10. For both. They all get the same thing for kunai and shuriken. And Shino, he doesn't use kunai, but he did get 10 out of 10, just like Sasuke. And he doesn't plan on using shuriken ever. So they let him pass it. Naruto's turn, and he sees that they are dull, so he can't stick it into the wood of the target. Naruto says, he jumps up, making some mist. That's all you hear. And you see all 10 are split in half with the ice needle, not split in half, but almost broken half. Only the ice needle is holding it together. And Naruto says, "I'll do that for both shuriken and kunai," he says. And he spits out one senbon or ice needle, and then he hits it perfectly 10 times. Right in perfect spots. And then the last one falls behind the rock, getting it 11 out of 11. Only one kid ever did that. Well, 2 if you count Kakashi, but Kakashi and Itachi were the only ones to be able to hit that one behind the rock. So, what now? Come on, class, time to get back. And he says, the rookie of the year is Sasuke Naruto Uzumaki. And Sakura's like, "What? No, that stupid brat is not rookie of the year. My Sasuke could clearly beat him in a fight." And Naruto says, "Do you think you can beat me in a fight?" Looking at the window still, "Yes." "Fine then." He appears outside. He's waving, and you hear him faintly say, cause the window and how far he's away he is, "Come on." They all go outside. "Okay, friendly battle." And Naruto says in his mind, "Nope." And she says, "No, cha!" Running at him, trying to punch him, Naruto catches her hand, stomping on her leg, breaking it. And she goes, "Ah!" Screams. She gets up, walking on one leg. "No." And she does a a little fireball, not even big enough to even hurt Ino at this point. And she says, "Fireball jutsu." And this is because she doesn't have the nature or anything, any type of skill. She just saw Sasuke do it. Huh? And she said, "Fireball jutsu." It was so small. Naruto and ate it. And Naruto says, "So we're doing that, eh?" "Ice ball jutsu." He says, and it spins right on her stomach, making her raw half freeze. And Naruto says, "If you don't want me to break your legs beyond repair, you might want to give up." And Naruto kicks her off the wall. And Iruka's like, "What? This kid is at least no training, maybe mid-training level." And he says, "Okay, class, come back in. Now, this is our last and final test, the clone test." "Shoot." And he goes, and he says, "Ice clone jutsu, making 100 ice clones." And he says, "Are they durable?" Duh. And then he says, "Switch places." "Oh, so like the transparent jutsu, when you swap places with something?" This is Mizuki says yes. It was a super short cool. Switching, and Naruto just switches place with him. He gets stabbed in his leg. "Ah, you stupid brat, why not one of your stupid clones? Cause you're the one who threw the kunai, so you should take the hit." Naruto walks out, taking a headband, a black one. "Hey, I never said, did I fail?" He looks back. "Did I fail?" "No, I never said you did. Then why can't I take the headband?" "Okay." He just lets walk off. And he hides the headband, and he makes like water come out of his eyes. Everybody's laughing. "Ah, gonna become a shinobi." And I'm gonna say for this one, nobody else in the class actually becomes shinobi. Shinobi's like really mad about it. The only one who actually does is Shikamaru, and Sasuke, and Naruto. But nobody knows Naruto. And he says, "Okay, well, since all of you failed, except 2," and he's looking at Naruto, because Naruto told him not to say anything. "So, the one team will be under Kakashi Hatake, Sasuke Uchiha, Shikamaru Naruto Uzumaki." And everybody starts laughing. "This is a joke, right?" You know, Sakura says, "He doesn't even have a headband." Naruto pulls it out, putting it over his eye, because he likes to sleep. And it's black, so they said, "What? How did he pass?" And Naruto makes 15 ice clones, and he said, "If you want to test them, you can, going to sleep." And Sakura says, "Yes, this is finally my chance to get revenge." Cha! Running at it, punching the head, but it doesn't do anything. And he said, "I said you could test it, not a roach." And then he kicks Sakura back in her seat. "So don't touch me." And the ice clones melt. When he wakes up, he says, "Finally, you're awake, Naruto." And he says, "Kakashi, don't play dumb with me." I know you just got here. And Shikamaru says, yes, he did. How did you know that? 'Cause I felt your presence, just like you can feel mine. Naruto calms down, letting out a cool aura. This is where I'm leaving off. Peace out, my dudes.